Yep. So I don't know how many of you guys have basically followed my channel for the bicycling, but I'm about ready to set off for the trip from Whidbey, Washington, all the way to Athol, Idaho, and the goal is to basically pick up a truck and all this equipment back on it. As soon as I get there, I'm looking at about maybe 5 or 6 days. So several different routes and everything else I was taking a look at. We'll kind of see how it goes, but Palouse to Cascade, the first one going over Snoqualmie Pass, the usual Centennial Trail and Snoqualmie Valley Trail, just like I did last time, but I'll be traveling by myself because my son is not exactly able to ride with me this time. So yeah, I'm definitely loaded to bear. I've already given it a test ride and it seems to ride just fine, going around the neighborhood without a problem. Kind of give updates as I go along, so I'm going to take off out of here about 5 in the morning. And the funny thing is, this time I've actually got rain coming in about halfway through the week, so we'll see how it turns out. We'll see how far I can get, and hopefully I can make a lot of progress in the first 5 days. So, and hopefully in 5 days I'll be in Idaho. So, all right, day one. I've already managed to go about 18 miles. Got off Whidbey here on Anacortes. I'm right across from the school that I took a nap at the very first time that I did this adventure. This time I'm going all the way to Athol, Idaho, as I've mentioned before on the intro. I couldn't start it up before because everything was all too foggy and the lenses would have fogged up. So yeah, this is going to be one hell of a start of an adventure. I'm already enjoying the comforts of having this oversized trailer here, which makes it really tough for trying to get on really small and narrow areas. It's like the trailer wants to control you, I guess, if you're not careful. So it's going to be adventurous on the busy roads, but really enjoyable on the open roads. So get a lot of the big trucks going through. There he goes. But yeah, this ought to be an eye-opener to find out how well I'm doing. I've got a Gaia map going with my other former route from 2 years ago, and hopefully if the mileage is keeping up. It's only 116 miles from my home to North Bend, and I've already done 20 and the first hour and 50 minutes, so I guess we'll find out how everything goes. So all right. Oh yeah. There we go. It's always tough to get this thing started again. But you have to be in really super good control in order to make sure that you don't end up having the trailer oscillate side to side, and that's the biggest problem I found. This part over here, kind of find when I get onto loose gravel, that's where it really gets difficult, and that's why I'm kind of worried about when I get past Clay Elm. Hopefully I would have lightened up the load with some of the water by the time I get out there, but the rest of the Palouse Cascade, the Snoqualmie Valley Trail, and the Centennial Trail should be just fine. But I just have to kind of keep on my toes when I'm going on these first sections here. So, all right, coming up to our next turn. Trying to avoid Highway 20 as much as I can, just due to the amount of traffic going on there. I don't have much of a choice going across the bridge, but then again, there is a nice bike path going across there. So we will definitely find out and see how well the trick is going to go on that section. Coffee shop up here I definitely want to stop off at, so we will definitely kind of make a stop there. And oh crap, man, that's one thing I forgot about. I'm gonna have to definitely slow it down because my brakes, man, I started smelling the brakes when I was trying to slow down from a fast speed. But hopefully I set up the brakes on the trailer a little bit better. So, oh, this is gonna be wow. Yeah, I was gonna have to go downhill anyways, but oh geez. Okay. When you're trying to stop this much of a load and everything else, it's almost impossible to come to a complete stop. So this ought to be real interesting. At least it goes straight through there. So I'm definitely smelling them. Yeah, I just made a stop off at Milk and Joe's for a little bit. Man, that is one heck of a good breakfast right there. Good breakfast burritos. About to head over the twin bridges, get on the bike path, and hopefully give a really nice view about going over that bridge again. But that's the fact I can't hold on to the camera. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get the view going from the front of the bike. It's just precarious nature of the bike. I can't exactly hold on to the camera and do the control of the bike at the same time. So, all right. Yeah, that would have been tragic. Okay. There we go. All right. So we can get this beast started again here. All right, there we go. Wish I could ride it all the way down to that intersection on this side, then I could avoid getting eastbound 20. Eastbound and down. Okay. Alright. I just wish I had a separate bike route to go on the outside of the highway. Kind of nice to get off of Highway 20. That was one busy road. I'm gonna have to go in between one of these vehicles here. Oh, there we go. All right, Young Road. This puts us direct east. But coming up here, that's where we'll go ahead and turn south. Yeah. comment. Look at this, lawn mowing. There we go. Finally reached I-5. Now we're headed up. Gonna join up with Highway 9 from here. Alright, just made it to Highway 9. That was a hell of a hill to get up here. We're already about 300 feet up. Took a little bit of battery to get up, but I think I did alright. It helps maintain the speed of around 8 to 10 miles an hour. So, fun part will be navigating this road here. We just have to get up to the trailhead at the Snoqualmie barn, so. Alright, finally arrived. Looks like a totally empty parking lot up here. Nope, there's one person there. Super. Okay, two people with truck. Ah. 4 people. All right. Yeah, I'm going to come over here for a bit. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's still going. Alright, well, so far so good. I've already hit the 48 mile mark. Just hit the trailhead for the Centennial Trail. Yeah, but I'm definitely going to see a lot more people out here. Yeah, typical favorite. Centennial Trailhead, or North End Trailhead, the Snoqualmie barn. The one that we just passed up there. Well, looks like everything's working all right. Don't even need the flasher going on anymore. I'm just wondering what the ticking is. To me, it seems like everything's working just fine. It has plenty of power. I definitely need to fill up my water bottle though. That's I'm gonna go and polish it off, and I'm gonna stick some liquid IV into it. But I'm gonna start taking the bottles from the trailer here, and this way I can lighten the load on that. That was part of the plan right there. But yeah, this beautiful trailhead right here. You know, nice little amenities, plus this little fix-it stand right here for bikes. Somebody left their bike gloves up here, or at least working gloves. But all the tools and everything else, yeah. No scalp protect. All right. But yeah, kickstand looks like it works a little bit better when I kicked it out a little bit. So, all right. Somebody else. Hey, dude. Oof. All right. Yeah, most of this ride should be fairly simple and straightforward. It's gonna be an easy one, but it's after I get done start working my way down to Monroe. I'll decide whether my legs will be able to handle the last little bit going up to oh god, up to North Bend or not, because of that hill on the Snoqualmie Valley Trail. So yeah, they definitely got to find out if the electrical issue is associated with the power draw between both the batteries or not, whether they're hearing that ticking or not. But I don't know, they're both still at full power, so I'm only at 50 miles. They don't start going down to 50% until after the last part of the day. So but yeah, this trail right here, man, it's a real pleasure to ride on. Oh, so hopefully we get through this next 30 miles at least, 25-30 miles. This ought to be a fun ride. Streets of Arlington and Snoqualmie. Took the back way into Monroe. There's that nice hotel there in Monroe. I think it's for like $89 a night or something like that. But that would give me enough time to basically sit there and recharge my legs, charge the batteries, go get something good to eat later on. I still have all this food I'm carrying, so most of it's all freeze-dried stuff though. Definitely want to make sure I have a good balance between freeze-dried and the real food. Definitely don't need to clog up my intestines here. Boy, makes for a real rough ride. All right. Yep. All right. Time for the fun. Yeah, we're about mile 73 on this little trek from Whidbey. But we got down the Centennial Trail and arrived at this point right here, about 5 miles from Snoqualmie. Funny thing is, at mile 72, I was wondering why all of a sudden my brakes just dropped down and almost got caught in the spokes, and realized I lost a bolt here, and then this one loosened up. And the whole brake just kind of fell, and I still had that bolt there, so it's fortunate, you know. But all I do is I just have to stop off at a bike shop and see if they got a spare. Unless I can dig one out of my trailer, I'm gonna have to eventually here, but I don't know. So far I'm not doing too bad. I did cramp up at about mile 70 a little bit. I stopped off and downed another thing of liquid IV and a whole bunch of spare water from the bottles they've got on the trailer. So I'm starting to loosen up the weight on them a little bit. It's definitely getting to be a warm one out here today, but I think all in all it's not too bad, as long as I can kind of maintain about 10 miles an hour when I'm on the road. The other thing too is my Garmin watch kind of ran out of charge, so I wanted to make it a point to stop here and actually just get out the battery and just kind of charge the thing up. So kind of see how things go and get that thing going again, and hopefully it'll maintain the the course where I left off, so yeah, we'll find out. So far it's been a really fun trip, so for mile 73. All right. Oh yeah. Well, good morning. It's day 2. I am at a mysteriously random hotel here in Monroe. I thought I was going to make it all the way up to North Bend, but you know, as I discovered and everything else, that last little bit that I would have to go up would be a huge drain on what was left of the battery, and that last little hill section coming from Snoqualmie to Monroe really drained a lot because there was no curb, and the traffic on the local road there was some people that were driving by at about 65, 70 mile an hour in their little sports cars. I'm like, yeah. There was no filming on that one. I'm like, yeah, unless I just turned on the camera and just recorded the entire way. So, but for the most part, woke up at 4:30 this morning. My Garmin watch is officially dead. I'm gonna have to take and see what I can do about that, but I have no watch and everything else, so I'm gonna have to use the phone for much of what I use for timekeeping. So, but I guess from here on out, I'm just gonna use the ride with GPS. So, and usually that would be synced up with the Garmin watch, but not today. So. But you can see it's not too bad of a day. It's probably gonna be another really hot one. But I'm hoping with the full charged up, topped off batteries, I can make it all the way up to Snoqualmie Pass. We'll kind of see what happens. I mean, I'm probably gonna need another full charge once I get up there. But if we can get up to Hyack, I can go ahead and fill all the bottles, unless I end up going to the store in North Bend and replace all the bottles with fresh ones. So I don't know, it's all recycling. So all right, let's see how far we can get. So all right. All right, quite a bit different morning than when I started out yesterday. Yesterday I started out where there was so much fog I wouldn't have been able to see anything over the lens. It would have been, it would have gotten all full of moisture. That was not good. So today, I've got a nice little start here. Here in Monroe, it's about 5:15 this morning. Nice way to start though. Not a whole lot of people out, which I'm really proud for. So hopefully I won't get a whole lot of very anxious drivers that want to go ahead and get around me for, you know, extreme fast cases. But there was quite a few high-end sports cars and everything else that had modified exhaust. You know, some Mercedes, some BMWs on that other road. I'll tell you, they were extremely anxious because they were tailgating the other person in front, but as soon as they passed me, they just yelled at full throttle and just flew by and caught up to the other car, and then they were just, you know, letting off on the exhaust. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty typical. Hopefully I won't get a whole lot of that right now. I know that this highway can be pretty quick. So, yeah. Overall, hopefully getting to Duval shouldn't be too much of a problem. So, then I can get on the trail. So, all right. Wow. Okay, I gotta be careful when I turn on the camera. Yeah, we're going through the whole Riverfront Park here, right before getting onto the Highway 203. Well, they got switched up back there. Yeah, this field has all sorts of baseball fields and everything, so oh geez, you got to be kidding. I'm really glad I have little blips of power to kind of get me through this thing with the trailer. Alright, this is one I have to cross. I better do it here soon because traffic picks up quite a bit. Alright. There we go. Got another car coming up. People heading to work. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy one this morning, that's for sure. All right. That was painless. All right, I get a little breakfast at a little cafe there. This is the beginning of the Snoqualmie Valley Trail from where I went a little further down, and I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So thought it'd be a good time. So all right. 25 miles. Oh. There we go. Have the power back on. Alright. Oh, just like last time, but 25 miles to North Bend, huh? Oh. Yeah, my legs are definitely a bit sluggish this morning. What happens when you haven't done this in a while? This is long distance riding to the extreme. But this trail is absolutely beautiful. I'm really glad that when they got rid of the railroads, they turned all these into trails. Yeah, I'm definitely making the most of it, but let's just hope that my legs, my hamstrings especially, because they were hurting. Hopefully, I won't have any problem getting up there with the amount of battery that I've got, and then Snoqualmie Pass is going to be a different beast altogether. So, all right. Coming up this section on Highway 203 where it crosses over. So I just have to wait for an opening. Okay, here we go. Oh, it wasn't too bad. I got lucky on that one. All right. Now, on the way up to Carnation. All right. Nice. I forgot about this park. Morning. Alright, I successfully climbed 500 feet up on the Snoqualmie Valley Trail. Absolutely beautiful up here. Nice long trestle. Thinking right, it might be going down unless it's more of a climb up here. I believe we've reached the end of this little section. They made it virtually impossible for me to get my bike up here because I can't climb that with oh shoot. So I'll have to do the same thing I did before and get onto the little cutout that goes off to the left because there isn't another way. Oh shoot, man, this ought to be interesting. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Yeah, I just wish I could get up through that. That's where the trail said for me to go to. Okay. I think this is it right here. Yep. We get into a low gear here. Okay. This ought to be fun. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to make some lick trick to get me up the road here. Okay, we're almost there. Okay. Yes, there's the road. Okay. Okay. Get on up. Alright, man, it's Snoqualmie. I tried the other end of the rail trail going out at the bridge. Turns out there's 2 sets of steps and everything else, and anything steps is kind of basically taboo. I don't have any chance in hell of getting up there unless we get about 4 strong people to lift this whole trailer assembly. So looks like I'm gonna have to get back on highway over here. Take it all the way into North Bend. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. See if I can connect back up on the trail eventually here. All right, I made it to North Bend. Stopped off the QFC and got 2 gallons of water. I only need about 1.5 gallons. So I'm gonna shove the other half on here. It seems to handle all right. Get myself some lunch. I'm gonna shoot on down 3rd Street, and that'll get me right onto the trail. So you can see right here, and then just kind of keep going all the way up to Rattlesnake Lake. So all right. Yeah, this will be fun. So it turns out I ended up using a little over 1 gallon of water, I guess, yesterday. So all in all, I think about 1 gallon a day. That seems to be fairly decent. But I think I should be just fine. So there it is. This is where the other end of the bridge would have been. There's no way I'd be able to get off of it. It took that way. Just some Ducky the cat. Alright. This is going to be momentous. Alright. As of present, it says we're at 458 feet. That was a really nice climb all the way from Monroe. Let's kind of see how everything goes. All right. All right. Getting under I-90. Well, officially made it to the Palouse Cascade. Got some disturbing news. They showed me what the washouts look like. Apparently there's 2 of them. One I can get around. The other one I may have to take and see if I can hike the bike up and around. I hope to God I can get them through, but I'll be videoing both. So it's the very, very first section. Right after leaving Rattlesnake Lake. Yeah, this is going to be a fun trip all the way up. Just like before, but now I'm doing it in the afternoon. So it's now 12:20. I'm about 1,050 feet up. Made one hell of a climb this morning. My leg is definitely feeling it. Got a little bit of a break, cooled down the leg, kind of helped the hamstrings a little bit, but I'm sure they'll be acting up again, so I'm just going to kind of keep it in a nice easy gear. There's a few campsites along the way here just in case. Yeah, let's see what happens. So oh yeah, one hell of a view. I'm already at 1,230 feet, so yeah, I'm just gone the first couple miles on the Palouse Cascade. So all right, back to it. All right, so here's one of the bypasses they had, because that whole area over there, let me go in here, but yeah, the whole place is closed off. I could not believe that all that right there just completely broke free because of all the rain. So yeah, this is absolutely nuts. So they constructed the trail that goes through there. You can see this, but me trying to do technical off-road in my my overweight bike, I had a nice gentleman by the name of Matt. He was there to help me out because I got to this section right here on that little switch right there, and I just completely didn't have the power, and then I ended up just falling over. Yeah, it may have bent the derailleur just a minor amount. I'm very, very lucky. But yeah, trying to get it up here, I didn't have the seat switch, the switch basically for the controller plugged in all the way. I thought there was a problem with it, but I troubleshot it and got the thing working again. So, all right. I think that was a quick 5-minute break. That thing just really tore me up trying to get this thing going. I thought I was going to have to take and do a really bad fix on it. But yeah, I still have all the way up to there. And I've barely begun. Okay. All right. Yeah, on to the next one. Yeah. Not bad. I'm about 1,470 feet. Across a couple of bridges and come across a few people. Hey. Oh man, you guys are still doing rock climbing. Yeah, they still got the rock climbing schools over here. Nice. Supposed to get some experience. All right. Awesome up here. Alright. That was one big bridge. Whew. Oh man. Those trusses are neat. Oh yeah, there we go. We are finally at the edge of the tunnel. Step around the corner, and boom, there it is. All right, took a little bit of a nap. I am absolutely wiped out after today, but I love that view. Just really glad there's a little bit of an overcast. Kind of helps out a little bit. Take a look. There's the part of Snoqualmie, part of I-90 where they're coming down. Yeah, this ought to be a really interesting section here. I've been wiped out, I guess, on this entire ride up, only because it's been a constant climb and my batteries are almost to the point where they're dropping off the full and about to stay at the medium. Yeah, this tells me that they're pretty close, but I mean, frame is definitely getting a bit filthy. And even here, yeah, still have 2 bars left on there. Alright, let's just hope that never goes to empty. Alright, let's do it. It'll only be worth it just get the first couple seconds, and then I'll go ahead and get it as we get out. Hopefully, if I get out. Whew. 2.7 miles. Oh man. Well, I'm definitely wiped out. Yeah. So my flashlight's gonna stay on the whole time. Alright. And so it begins. Said 2.7 miles. That's going to be interesting. Yeah, this flashlight works pretty darn good, man. It lights up everything. Alright. Till the end. Alright. We are emerging in a 2-mile-long tunnel. I can't even look behind right now to see if anybody else came up. Oh. Oh. Okay, we're almost done with this section of our trail. Oh. Hell yeah. Almost done. Let me take a look real quick. Yep. Looks like somebody is coming up. Okay. Now we'll be able to get our cell signal back. Okay. They're done. Woo! All right. Let's go see if we can get a room at the Summit Inn. This is interesting. Harry. Yeah. Okay. I'm all checked in at the Summit Inn Hotel. I'm definitely roughing it here. Oh. Yeah, usually summer rates are about 150 a night. Hold on. Oh, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and give the bike a good wipe down and then bring it on into the room. So, get the batteries good and charged up. And let me get the lights turned off here since I don't need them on anymore. But yeah, that flashlight, man, it held up really good. But it got dirty as hell there on the trail. So, see what happens. Let's go ahead and get everything done here. I have to readjust the front brake again, so alright. Let's get a good night and dinner.